Hello students, and welcome to the e-learning program initiated by Shri Gyanmanjari Vidyapeeth for the students of Standard 9, in which we are learning the subject of English. Students, from previous lecture we started with one of the topic of grammar, that is transformation of sentences. Students, whatever grammar part we are learning, that has to be compulsorily written in the fair book. That fair book is not for the purpose of say checking in the school or giving you marks. It is for your personal use, because the same topics are going to be taken in the 10th standard also. Yes, so better maintain the fair book that you are making, so that all the grammar topics remain in one book. It becomes easier for you when you want to revise for examination, whether it is for WRT preparation or whether it is for next year final paper of the board. Then also the same book is going to be useful to you, right? So transformation of sentences, there are lots of subtopics in transformation of sentences. Out of that we have started with one of the first topic, that is transformation of affirmative sentence into a negative sentence. So transformation of sentences, this is lecture number 2. The topic is transformation of sentences, affirmative sentence to negative sentence. Now let us take a quick recap. If somebody has not written down in the fair book, today is a chance to write down few of the things, at least the definition at least. Affirmative to negative sentence, in that first sentences that you have learned, which are the different types of sentences that you have learned in the earlier standards. That is, sentences can be classified into affirmative sentence. Affirmative sentence will have no negative words. That is called affirmative. Examples I gave about affirmative is, I am happy. That is an affirmative sentence. I am unhappy. That is also an affirmative sentence, though the meaning conveyed is negative, but as no negative word is used in the sentence as such, so it still remains as an affirmative sentence. Negative sentence, we have learned, negative sentences are those which have a negative word in it, right? Then that's called a negative sentence. Imperative sentence, order, command, request, suggestion, opinion, all of them, they are imperative sentences. Interrogative sentences are asked for the purpose of getting an answer, right? Not for the sake of asking the question. They are asked for the purpose of getting an answer. Answers we have started 2 types. It can be a yes no answer, or it can be a full sentence or a descriptive lengthy answer. Assertive sentence are declarative sentence. They can be affirmative also and negative also. Then that's called, because it is declaring something, right? The sun is shining, then that is declaring something. Yes, the sun is not visible, then that is also declaring, right? So declarative sentences or assertive sentence. And exclamatory sentence, which have an exclamation mark either at the end of the sentence or just after the interjection words such as ah, oh, wow, etc. So these are the different type of sentences that we have learned in the earlier standards. Now our work is to transform them from one to another. So transformation can be of many types. Say example, affirmative to negative, or negative to affirmative, then interrogative to affirmative, or if it is an interrogative negative question, then interrogative to assertive, or vice versa. Same way, exclamatory to assertive, or exclamatory assertive to exclamatory. So there are various type of transformation to be done. We'll learn them one by one. Those sentences that can be transformed into different form without changing the meaning of the sentence, this process is called transformation of sentence. What is transformation of sentence? These 6-7 types of sentences that we just learnt about, these sentences can be transformed from one form to another form. Then that is called, that process is called transformation of sentences. The main things to keep in mind while doing the transformation is very important. There is sentences. What is an assertive sentence? Sentence which does not have any negative word, then that type of sentence is called an affirmative sentence. Now, which are the negative words? No, not, never, neither, nor, nothing, and none. These are the 7 negative words that we use for making a sentence negative or conveying negation. So I am again repeating: no, not, never, neither, nor, nothing, and none. These are the 7 negative words that we usually use. Now, standard rule. We have explained, I have explained this yesterday also, and we have understood that there will be very few number of rules, but we have to stick to those rules. You stick to those rules, you make the transformation according to the rules, then you will always get a correct answer, right? So, while transforming an affirmative sentence into negative sentence, the following should be kept in mind. First thing is use negation, because affirmative sentence will not have a negative word. So when we are doing a transformation from affirmative to negative, the first thing we need to do is we have to use negation. Then look at the sentence. After using the negation, is there any need for using an antonym of one of the word provided over there? If there is a use, because we do not have to change the meaning. By using antonym, if we are changing the meaning of the sentence, then drop that, right? Just use the negative and finish the answer. See, if we are not doing antonym, does that change the meaning of the sentence? Yes. Then don't do the transformation. That means don't use antonym. See that by not using the antonym, we are changing the meaning. That means it is necessary to use the antonym. Yes? So, sometimes both the things are applicable, sometimes only one thing is applicable. Sometimes just by using negation, we do the transformation. Second is we use the negation also and we use the antonym also. Then only the transformation is complete. Then these are the 2 options available with you. That first use the negation, see if the meaning changes or does not change. If the meaning changes, then you have to use the antonym. Do not change the overall meaning of the sentence. Now we did lots of examples yesterday, and we'll continue with those examples, other examples also today. I am going to write what I like. I am going to write. So it is understood that I am going to write, we have to use a negation over here. Yes, I am going to write what I don't like. You're changing the meaning of the sentence, so we have to use the negation over here. I am going to write, I am not going to write. So I am not going to write. If I keep what I like as it is, then meaning of the sentence will change. I am going to write what I like, I am not going to write what I like. That means we have to use an antonym over here. Like what I unlike nahi, dislike hoga. Yes, be sure of the antonyms. Yes, don't make a mistake with the antonym, otherwise your answer will become wrong. At some place unlike is suitable, at some place dislike is suitable. Yes, so see where proper use of prefix is done, then use it. Yes, so let's see the answer. What is the answer? I am not going to write what I dislike. Here we see that we not only made use of negation. Of course, negation we have to use because we are transforming that into a negative word, so negation has to be used. Our problem is whether we should use the antonym of the other word which is given to us. If we keep it as it is the meaning changing? Yes, the meaning changes. Then our result is not productive, right? So we have to use an antonym of the other word that is provided, that is like. Like will become dislike and not unlike, right? So I am going to write, I am not going to write, what I like, what I dislike. Now, confusing sentences. Yes, I am going to write what you dislike. Now here there is already an antonym over here, right? This is the actual word. So antonym will become like or dislike. Let's see. Yes, how it happens. I am going to write. That means I am not going to write. If I keep it as it is, what you dislike, then the meaning changes. So again I have to use a negation over here and antonym of dislike. So the answer will be I am not going to write what you like. I am going to write what you dislike. That is exactly the question, right? So yesterday also, in the previous lecture also, we discussed that once you finish the transformation, don't run away from there. Stop over there. Review your answer. 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. See the question and see your answer. Did you change the meaning of the sentence? Even 1% if you think that you have changed the meaning of the sentence somewhere, try another one, right? You have to try. If the sentence is quite long, then maybe you get confused. If the sentence is too short, the answer will be more complicated, right? So both the ways. So before going away from that question, before attempting the next question in transformation of sentences, wait for a while, take a proper review of your answer, see what you have done, look at what you have done. Have you changed the meaning? Have you followed all the rules? Then only go ahead. I hate dishonesty. Very small sentence. Yes, we know we have done these things. Hate, love. Right? Now there is no helping verb, so I have to use the do form. Hate is a present tense, right? So present tense of do form is do. Right? So I do love dishonesty. No, it's hating dishonesty. So I do not love dishonesty. Here we have to keep it as it is. Hate we transform into love. So I do not love, because negation has to be used. If I use the negation, I will have to keep the word as it is. Now here if you do the antonym dishonesty, honesty, that I do not love honesty, you are changing the meaning of the sentence. So here we will keep it as it is. No change over here. We will keep the word as it is. I do not love dishonesty, because by making antonym of dishonesty, we will change the meaning of the sentence. So hate becomes not love because it is in present tense. So do not. So I do not love what? Honesty or dishonesty? That you have to choose, right? By choosing the wrong one, your answer will become wrong. Very good question. I dislike dishonesty. Now dislike means not like, so we already did the negation. Yes, I do not like dishonesty. Will there be any change in this or not? Shall we be using antonym of dishonesty or negation, or negation only, keep it as it is, or negation also an antonym also? Let's see. Dislike means I do not like. I do not like. I do not like or I dislike what? Dishonesty. So this remains as it is without changing. No change over here. Yes, so here also if we see, the answer remains the same. I do not like dishonesty. See, it's the same question, only it has been twisted to confuse you, right? So I hate dishonesty, I dislike dishonesty, meaning is the same here, only the word changes. Hate becomes love, dislike becomes like. Because it is dislike, we say not like. It should be not. It should be not. I do not like, I do not love, right? So hate becomes not love, dislike becomes not like, right? Otherwise we are not changing, or we are not making the opposite of, or we are not using the antonym of dishonesty. Most of the students failed in the exam. We have already done this type of sentence, so it should immediately strike to you. Now what are you going to do? Yes, what is it saying? It is saying that most of the students failed in the exam, right? So we keep this as it is. Most of the students failed. Antonym is not passed, right? So failed, past tense, no helping verb, so we'll use the do form. Past tense of do form is did. So most of the students did not pass. Rest, put it as it is. So we see, we make a very small change even if the length of the sentence is big. We do not have to worry about the length of the sentence. See, the part in which you have to change, that will be quite small one. It will be hardly one word or max 2 words. So don't worry about the length of the sentence. It can go to n number of lines. It doesn't have much of change, because such a lengthy sentence won't be coming for you. But then also, if there is a lengthy sentence, see the part that you have to make changes in. Rest of the sentence, rest of the word, it just falls into line, right? So let's see the answer. Most of the students did not pass the exam, or did not pass in the exam. Same thing, doesn't make any difference, right? You say in the exam or did not pass the exam, same thing. So most of the students did not pass. If you want to say in the exam, then also you can do that. Did not pass the exam, it means the same. Next question, most of the students passed the exam. That means there are still few nung who failed the exam, right? So that we have to clarify over there, right? What will we do? If we keep most of the students as it is, as we did in the earlier one, yes, most of the students, then passed, opposite, failed, did not fail the exam. One answer can be that. But here we have to see most of the students passed the exam. Yes. So another way of doing it is, most का क्या होगा? Antonym, very few. Very few. Most of the students pass the exam. That means very few students did not pass the exam. Very few students did not pass the exam. It means that most of the students passed the exam, very few students did not pass the exam. Let's see the answer. Now why? Why is the question? Yes, I understand. Yes, कि ऊपर वाले सेंटेंस में हमने वेरी फ्यू क्यों नहीं यूज किया, नीचे वाले सेंटेंस में मोस्ट ऑफ क्यों नहीं यूज किया, राइट? नाउ एवरीवेयर मेजॉरिटी विंस, Everywhere majority wins, right? Here it is implying that very few students pass the exam. So what is necessary? What is necessary is majority of the students fail the exam, right? That is why this is more convenient, or this is more convincing than very few. Because if we write very few students pass the exam, that means either the paper was quite tough or lots of students did not appear in the exam, right? So most of the students did not pass the exam. Yes, that is a more convenient way and a more convincing way to say. Here most of the students pass the exam, but we are more worried about the small number of students that were unable to pass the exam. So very few students did not pass that, because here also majority is seen that very few students failed, but majority of them passed, right? So both of them are true, and both of them are more befitting and appropriate rather than the opposite way of doing it. Opposite way is also true. Opposite way is also true. If you write the answer over here, most of the students failed in the exam, very few of the students passed in the exam. Understand? Very few of the students passed in the exam, then we are not using negation over here. Same way, यहाँ पे भी most of the students passed the exam, most of the students did not fail the exam, then it is correct. Same way, very few, few of the students did not, most of the students passed the exam, that means failed in the exam, that means very few students passed the exam, right? So it is not possible in this case, whereas it is possible in the next case, right? So both the answers are true, but you should use negation and meaning should not change. Fresh fruits are bought. How will you turn that to negative? Opposite of fresh, stale or rotten. Which of this? Which one is correct? Rotten is correct, stale is not correct. Yes? Or another word for fresh is decayed, right? So you see, when you are using antonym, you should be using the correct antonym. Yes? जो हम रोटी बनाते हैं, रोटी जो fresh बनती है, right? So when we keep that roti or chapati for 2 days, it becomes stale, right? But for fresh fruits, it is decayed fruits or rotten fruits, right? So fresh, either use decay or, so decayed fruits are, now we have to use negation. So here negation will not be used over here because we did the antonym of, right? So we have to use the negation with the another one, another word which is available to us. So fresh fruits are bought, decayed fruits or rotten fruits are not brought, rather using the negation in the front. Yes? Not fresh fruits are not bought. If you write that way, it's completely wrong. You just wrote the negation, you just wrote the antonym, right? So that's not correct. So decayed fruits are bought, so are not bought. Everyone was invited for the party. We did one of the kind with everybody, so here it is everyone, right? So automatically everyone ka no one was will remain as it is. We can't do anything. Now Invited is the only word with which you can do some work, otherwise for the party you cannot do any work, right? So no one was uninvited for the party. That is one way of doing it. Yes, but if I say no one was uninvited for the party, grammatically we are still a little bit wrong, right? Because of the formation of the sentence. Yes, the correct way of doing it is no one was left uninvited. Here everyone means no one was left. So grammatically also we have to see that we need to add words which make the meaning of the sentence more clear. Does not change the meaning, that is must, but it also makes the meaning of the sentence that we have transformed more clear, more precise, accurate, right? So no one was uninvited for the party. I do not say that the answer is wrong, but the answer becomes more appropriate if I say no one was left uninvited for the party. That means everyone was called. Okay, now we come to another one. The principal rejected the application. You want leave? Of course, everybody is on leave, including me, right now. So we are not talking about this. We are talking about normal day. Yes, normal days these things used to happen. Yes, now we don't know what's going to happen in new normal, right? The principal rejected the leave application. The principal, he rejected the leave application. We can't do anything to the principal, right? Negation laga nahi sakte, antonym bana nahi sakte. So the first word that comes to us, rejected. Yes, we can do something to it. We cannot do anything to the leave application. So in the whole sentence we have only one word with which you can play, which you can use negation if you want, you can make an antonym if you want. Whatever you have to do, you just have one word with which you can make the transformation. Yes, so we have to do it. Now what is the antonym for rejected? Accepted? Accept. See, that's why I am saying use the appropriate antonym always. Look at what you have used, right? So accept, reject, I understand perfectly that that is an antonym, but here accepting means, now you say you have gone to the principal's office to give your leave application. He doesn't accept it. वो हाथ में ही नहीं लेते हैं तो he didn't even look at it. Yes, he did not accept it. What here means, he took the application and wrote rejected over there. That means he had accepted the, so we see that accepted is not the antonym that is going to be used over here. The more appropriate word is disapprove. Yes, rejected means disapprove. Now disapprove का क्या होगा? Not approved, right? So because rejected past tense, so do form, because there is no helping verb over here, so the principal will have to use the do form. Past tense of do form is did. The principal did not approve because he wrote rejected over there. That means he did not approve. Yes, he accepted the application but then rejected your leave. Yes, disapproved of your leave. So the principal did not approve the leave application is the correct transformation. Please do not make this transformation as the principal did not accept the leave application. Accept करना मतलब वो तो accept तो कर लेंगे, उसके बाद बोल देंगे छुट्टी नहीं मिलेगी, right? So we are not talking about that acceptance. That is already accepted. You give whatever paper, officers will take the paper, right? Now to approve it or disapprove it, that is in their hands. So see that you use the proper antonym which makes proper sense and appropriate, keeps the meaning of the sentence intact. The principal rejected the leave application. The principal did not approve the leave application. You have treated me badly. You have treated me badly. Now we know you have, we cannot do anything. Treated me and badly. Now there are two words over with here with which you can do some work for making it into a negative sentence. You have treated me. You have not treated me. Now if I use you have not treated me, then you have to change badly, because if you keep this word as it is, you do not use the antonym of badly, then the meaning of the sentence will change. You have not treated me badly. What? You want somebody to treat you badly? No. So you have not treated me badly. Antonym, well. You have not treated. This is behavior. So badly becomes, it doesn't mean good or goodly. Yes. So see that you use the proper or appropriate antonym which makes sense in the sentence, because everywhere we did that in the previous lecture also, that your common sense over here is going to earn you marks. You lose your common sense, then you don't use your common sense, then you're going to lose your marks, right? So see that antonym hoga wo, but does that antonym fit in my sentence? In my sentence? No, it doesn't fit. It looks out of place. Then I have to make another antonym which is befitting the answer. So you have not treated me well. That is the answer. Students, I hope you are continuously writing in your books so that later on these are the examples that are going to help you solve more assignments. Keep looking until you find it. Keep looking until you find it. Keep looking. Don't keep looking. Yes or no? Until you can't do anything. Until you don't find it. Yes? So how are we going to change this? Again, your common sense comes over here. Keep looking, don't stop. Do not stop looking. Keep looking, you keep looking. Yes? At one point in time, you get fed up. You stop looking. So exactly that is the word that is going to be used over here. Do not stop looking. Then rest of the sentence falls as it is. Yes? Because we don't have to do any change over there, right? Don't stop looking until you find it. You can see that I didn't make any change over here. I kept it as it is. So keep it short and sweet most of the times, so that first thing is examiner confused ho na ho, aap confused na ho. Because you look at it second time, no, this is not right. So you again change it. Sometimes it happens that you keep on going from bad to worse, right? Rather than making the answer more better, you make it worse. So first thing is make it short and sweet. See if you have to add some extra word. For example, ऊपर वाले में stop नाम का word नहीं है, but keep looking. That means don't stop looking, right? So keep looking until you find it. You cannot do don't keep looking. Then you will have to make a negation over there also, and at the end you will be getting a wrong answer, right? So don't use that. Don't stop looking until you find it. It is quite true. It is quite true. It is quite, it is not quite. So by we have to add negation. So negation का एक ही जगह है, यहाँ आ नहीं सकता. Yes, try it. Try it in a book. See if you can add negation after quite. Not possible, right? It is quite not true. It is not quite not true. Two that will come later, but don't use two negatives, right? Because that will make a positive. That you learned in mathematics. Negative into negative, positive. Product उसका product multiplication, right? Addition होगा तो minus plus minus remains minus, but minus into minus becomes positive. So same thing happens over here also. Two negatives if you use in the same sentence, then you're going to make a positive, right? So that is not to be done, right? Not right now. See, there are some sentences where we can do it. Here, it is not quite. Now you have only one word left because I used a negation over here. Now you have only one. True ka opposite antonym. Yes, will be untrue. So it is not quite untrue. That means it is quite true. It is not quite untrue. So you see, students, with this we complete our first topic, that is affirmative to negative. Of course, you will be having lots of practice with the help of assignments so that you are well versed with the topic. You know where to make which type of sentences. Now I'd like to give you a very important advice. Many students have the habit of cramming or mugging up the answers of grammar, which is very, very wrong. It is just like mathematics. Mathematics, you are given a problem, you solve it on that page. You do whatever calculations you want. You show the calculations on the side. But the examiner should be able to see your steps, and the examiner should know how you derived or how you came to the answer. Same way grammar. For example, these starting with transformation of sentences, it is seen that many students, those who find it difficult to learn, those who find it difficult to transform the sentence, they mug up all the answers, and then what happens is the examiner or myself, we just twist the sentence a little bit. He is not able to pick that up and he writes a wrong answer because he has written down the answer that is in his mind, mugged up answer. So in grammar, you should always start from the beginning. Yes, you know all the rules, regulations. You know what to do. You know what not to do. So every time you come upon a sentence that has to be transformed, you follow the rules and do the transformation rather than mugging up that sentence answer and writing it down. If I made a word change in that, you will not be able to pick up, or you will then not know how to replace that word. Right? So please be careful. Now we are going to start with the relevant topic. The relevant topic is affirmative to negative, same way negative to affirmative. That's called affirmative to negative, or vice versa, that is negative to affirmative. But the rules, they change a little bit, right? So we are going to look at those rules. Now students, please write from here on fresh page, because this is topic number 2. This will be negative to affirmative, and it should be kept separate from affirmative to negative. Yes, we'll do the rules and regulations again, so that affirmative to negative and negative to affirmative, though it is vice versa, but then also we'll keep it separate. So please write this from on a fresh page in your fair book. Topic is negative to affirmative. Now definition for negative sentence. Yes, sentences having negative words are called negative sentences. Yes, I am not sick. Meaning is positive. It means I'm hale and hearty, I'm quite healthy, I am not sick. That is the meaning, right? But because a negative word has been used, not, it makes the sentence negative, though the meaning conveyed is positive. I am not sick, that means I'm quite well, right? But then the meaning conveyed is positive, but the sentence uses a negative negation, so the sentence is a negative sentence. So sentences having negative words are called negative sentences. Now, very, very important. Two negatives make a positive. Please write also, make a star mark over there. It is very, very important to remember. Two negatives will make a positive, but in the same sentence, if three negatives are written, then it means it is a negative sentence, because two negatives made a positive, फिर भी एक negative बच गया. So जब positive हुआ था वो फिर negative हो गया. So the overall outcome is negative because there are three. So just like maths, yes, minus into minus is plus, but minus into minus, that is plus, but then when you add that plus, multiply that plus with a minus, the product that you get is minus. Here we are not putting all the three negatives together. Yes, जैसे maths में होता है -3 into -3 into -3, right? We are not going to put it like that. Two negatives will make a positive. So we got a positive, but then positive again we have a negative, so that remains as a negative sentence. Yes, chances are less, but then sometimes it happens that you get a three negative in a sentence, right? So we will not make things confusing. We'll just keep it as it is. Now, some special words are used when we do not have any other option, or when we want to make an appropriate sentence but no other words are befitting, no other words can be used. Then special words like refrain, abstain, avoid, etc. are used while making affirmative. So from negative, if we want to make affirmative, we use this words. Yes, and not only these three words, there are many words which can be used, especially when we want to turn a negative sentence into a positive one. Yes, I'm talking about two negatives make a positive. We'll just have a small example over here, then we'll go ahead with our explanation. I want ice cream. This is a positive, or we can say this is an affirmative sentence because it does not have a negative word. So I write a negative word in. I do not want ice cream. This is an affirmative sentence. This is a negative sentence. This is a negative sentence because this one has negation, this one does not have negation. Yes? Now, please watch properly. I do not want no ice cream. Just the same way that you do in maths. Not. Two negatives are there, so I cut the two negatives which are present. Yes, I do not want no ice cream, that means I do want, or simply I want ice cream. Yes, these two sentences become the same, meaning remains the same, but no two negatives are used. Yes, so two negatives, just the way that you do in mathematics, they are to be striked off, right? You strike them off, you get I do want ice cream, that means I want ice cream. It is as the same one, yes, that we have written earlier. So This is just a, please write that down in your notebook also. Yes, because this will be quite helpful to you later on when you want to see how two negatives they become positive, right? So if this sentence is given and you are asked to make this affirmative, you simply have to strike off the two negatives. Do is then not needed over here because want is also in present tense. So do is not required over here. So you remove do also. I want ice cream. If you write that, then you get 1 mark, right? Because you have correctly transformed the sentence from negative to affirmative. Now let us quickly do some examples. I am not weak. That is why this topic becomes separate from affirmative to negative. You don't write that continuous way, right? I am not weak. First thing we have to do is cut this off. Not. I cut this off. I am not weak. I am weak. Meaning becomes opposite. So you use antonym of weak. What is the antonym of weak? Strong. So I am strong becomes the affirmative for this negative. I am not weak, I am strong. Yes, but whenever you are attempting such type of grammar questions, yes, please follow the rules and regulations. Please follow the standard way of doing it rather than going round and round, yes, confusing yourself and the examiner. सीधी बात है, उसको समझ में नहीं आ गया, he is going to go across whichever way you try to explain to him. So don't go follow a lengthy method, make it short and sweet, right? I don't say there can be only one answer. There will be some sentences where there can be multiple answers. Multiple by meaning there can be more than one answer. Yes, but then in answers won't be 5, 6 or 10 answers, right, of that same sentence. There will be only one, max 2, if need be 3, but all of them will be saying the same thing. Yes, you're just changing words here and there. He is not without courage. Right? So, please understand, not is negation. Not is negation. So, first thing we have to do is, we have to remove not. Now, without is also negative. If you see, without means not having. Yes? So, here we see that two negation is used. But one is negative, one is an affirmative way of saying negation, right? Without means not having. I am without a pen, that means I am not having a pen, right? So, without also has to be striked out because it means not having. So, he is and courage. Rest of the grammar we have to put in. Yes, what will we say? He is having courage, he has courage, what will come? Is here and he here. So what will happen? He has courage. He has courage. That will be the correct answer, right? Now, how did we come to this answer? Clear. First thing is remove negation. See what is remaining by remove negation. He is without courage. He is not without courage. He is without courage. It means the same, or is it different? So we have to use cut out without also. Now what remains? He is courage. So putting into a proper grammatical form, he has courage. Because courage is something to be have or had, right? So having courage may problem hai, right? Understand what I'm saying? You're properly trying to learn English. He is having courage means aaj hai, abhi hai, next moment pata nahi, right? So that type of courage we don't want. So see what type of transformation you are doing, or what is the outcome of that particular grammar that you are writing over there. He is not having a pencil. He is not having a pencil. So Not having means without. I have to remove not, right? Then not having means without. We just learnt it in the previous example. So we cut both of them. He is without a pencil. Answer. So try to make it as much short as possible. Yes, don't try to think too hard on it. And everything is in front of you. The sentence is in front of you. Only thing is your common sense should be working. Your presence of mind. What is common sense? That same thing. Presence of mind should be there. Right? You just don't keep on staring at that question. You just look at the question, see what has been taught to you, what has to be cut, what has to be added. Right? So here, first thing taught is, if it's a negative word, we have to turn into positive or affirmative. Not has to be cancelled. Not having put together means without. Right? So he is without a pencil. He is without a pencil. Next, the bookstore is not having pencil. I said use your common sense. You cannot write over here the same thing. The bookstore is without pencils. No. बुकस्टोर का काम होता है स्टेशनरी रखने का. स्टेशनरी कभी कभी खत्म हो जाती है, आउट ऑफ स्टॉक होता है. राइट? सो यूज प्रॉपर वर्ड. सी व्हाट यू आर डूइंग. If you write the bookstore is without pencil, yes, grammatically it will become wrong. And the bookstore का काम ही है. bookstore में होता क्या है? Pen, pencil, eraser and all those things. What happens? The pencil नहीं है, right? At that time the stock of pencil got over, and that is why the bookstall is not having pencil. So is not having means without. But then without is not the suitable word over here. So the bookstore is will remain as it is, out of pencil. Not having is out of. Here without is not going to work. Right? If you write without, you'll be getting a big cross and 0 marks. Right? Because the word you used is not proper. It is not befitting. It is inappropriate over here. So the bookstore is out of pencils. That is the correct ways, and that is why I gave you both the examples together. Here if you write he is out of pencil, कहाँ रखता है? ऊपर पेन, right? So that is not done. Right? Here also same thing will not apply. Both the things, both the condition situations, they are different. So according to the situation, according to the demand of the answer, you have to use a proper fitting word over there, and then you have to make the grammar also proper. So students, we come to a stop over here for today. Thank you, students.